Starting this week, I'm turning off monetization on all my YouTube videos. Permanently. And I'm not going back. I told a few friends and fellow writers, and the response was mostly, but why? You're leaving money on the table. Do you know how hard it is to make a living as a creator? And they're right, in a sense. YouTube ad revenue is real money. For some creators, substantial money. But I've been paying attention to what that money actually costs, and I've come to believe the price is too high for the kind of work I want to do. Ads aren't a neutral funding mechanism. They're not a morally inert way to keep the lights on while you make your art. They reshape the content they fund. Not always obviously, not always immediately, not even consciously, but inexorably. The incentive structure is too strong to resist. You start thinking about what will get clicks, what will hold attention through the mid-roll, what will make the algorithm happy. You optimize for watch time. You add padding to hit the 10-minute mark. You learn to backload your point so people can't leave early. These aren't even conscious decisions most of the time. They're just what happens when you're building muscle memory around financial incentives. I spent 6 months watching this happen to my own work. I'd write something and then film it, and then watch myself edit it with YouTube's dashboard open in another tab. And I noticed something disturbing. I was making tiny alterations, smoothing out the digressions, cutting the slow builds, adding more emphasis to the surprising bits, optimizing for the metrics. The final product was still mine, technically, but it was mine in the way a bonsai tree is still a tree, shaped by external forces into something more palatable, more consumable, and less itself. The rationalist in me wants to say, well, okay, but you're getting feedback from your audience about what they actually want. What's wrong with that? And I understand this objection. Markets are information systems. Prices tell you things. Maybe the cuts I was making were genuine improvements. But here's where I think that argument fails. YouTube's ad-driven metrics don't measure whether people found something valuable. They measure whether people stayed. And these are profoundly different things. Some of my most valuable intellectual experiences involved struggling through difficult material that I definitely would have clicked away from if I'd been optimizing for engagement. The books that changed how I think weren't necessarily page-turners. The essays that stuck with me didn't have snappy intros designed to defeat the bounce rate. There's a deeper problem too, and it's about the philosophy of how I want my work to exist in the world. When you take ad money, you're not just accepting payment for your content, you're agreeing to deliver an audience to the advertisers. Your viewers become a product that you're selling. The actual video is just a mechanism for assembling that product in one place, attentive and measurable. Does that sound cynical? It's literally the business model. If you're not paying for the product, you are the product. A lot of my work is about focus, intentionality, and thinking clearly about what matters. I talk about attention as a finite resource, about the importance of creating space for deep thought, about resisting the constant pull of distraction. And then I was serving that content wrapped in the most sophisticated distraction delivery system ever created. You'd be listening to me explain why we need to protect our capacity for sustained attention, and then boom, an ad for mobile games or meal kits, or whatever else the algorithm decided you needed to see. How do you square that? How do you make an argument for intentional living while participating in a system designed to fragment attention into measurable, monetizable chunks? You can't really. Or at least, I couldn't anymore. The contradiction kept gnawing at me. It felt like giving a lecture on health while handing out cigarettes at the door. The form was undermining the content. Every ad break was a small betrayal of the thing I was ostensibly trying to do, which was help people think more clearly and deliberately about their lives. You can't have it both ways. You can't be against the attention economy on principle while still taking its money. I want my relationship with readers and viewers to be direct, transparent, and honest. If you like what I make and you want to support it, you can subscribe to my blog for $2.50 a month. The link is in the description. That's it. No tricks, no optimization, no invisible third parties tracking your attention patterns to sell you things. You pay me, I make things. We both know exactly what the transaction is. It's simple, and it's clarifying. Will I make less money this way? Probably. Almost certainly. YouTube ad revenue, for its problems, has the advantage of harvesting cash from damn near everyone who watches. Converting people to paying subscribers is harder. But I've realized that I'd rather make less money from an arrangement I can stomach than more money from one that slowly corrupts everything I'm trying to do. Some folks will say I'm being naive, that all money is compromised somehow, that you can't opt out of the system just by switching funding models. And maybe they're right. The subscription model has its own distortions. You start thinking about what will retain subscribers, what will justify the monthly charge, what will prevent churn. But at least those pressures push you toward depth and quality rather than viral spread. At least they reward creating something genuinely valuable, rather than merely attention grabbing. Derek Parfit argued that what matters isn't the continuous existence of some metaphysical self, it's psychological connectedness and continuity. The person I was 5 years ago and the person I am now are connected by a chain of overlapping memories, values, and intentions, even if no single atom remains the same. I think something similar applies to creative work. What matters isn't that each individual video or essay is pure and uncompromised, but that the body of work as a whole reflects the values and the intentions that I actually hold. And I've come to believe that I can't maintain that continuity, that thread of genuine connection to what I care about, while succumbing to ad revenue. The metrics are too insistent. The incentives are too strong. Every time I checked the analytics, every time I A/B tested a thumbnail, every time I adjusted my content strategy based on what the dashboard said was working, I was letting YouTube's business model have a small say in what I made. And those small influences, they add up. They compound. Eventually, you look back and realize you've been making what the algorithm wanted all along. So I'm done with that. I'm removing monetization permanently. If you want to support the work, subscribe to the blog. If you don't, that's fine too. Either way, you'll get the same thing. Whatever I actually want to make. Unoptimized, uncompromised, occasionally rambling and difficult, and definitely not designed to maximize retention metrics. My YouTube videos will keep going. Same content, same cadence, free to watch, and I mean actually free, no paying the gatekeeper via the advertising engine. All I ask is that you share it around if you like it. That's the deal, and I think it's a good one.